A very warm welcome to all the viewers of Marine Biz TV. Today the Marine Biz TV camera crew and the entire team is at an emirate called Fujairah. Now Fujairah is one among the 7 emirates that constitutes the United Arab Emirates. We are sitting at a premises of FNSA Fuel Limited, and with me is Captain S K Bhasin, General Manager, FNSA. Hello and welcome to Quarterdeck.
Thank you.
My first question to you, or rather the audience would like to know, is a brief history of Fujairah National Shipping Agency.
Fujairah National Shipping Agency was a part and parcel of Fujairah National Group, which is owned by His Highness Sheikh Saleh Al Sharqi, which was predominantly in the business of ship agency.
Okay.
And this ship agency business, about 8 years ago, there was a restructuring in the organization, was passed to Inchcape,
Okay.
which also happens to belong to His Highness Sheikh Saleh. And I used to head the ship agency division, as well as the formation of this new company.
Okay.
If you go back into the agency business, that was formed in 1984.
Okay.
I joined the organization in 1990,
Okay.
and along with the ship agency business, the company began to trade in fuel oils around the world.
Okay.
And that's the present profile of the company under the new name, which was formed 8 years ago, called FNSA Fuel Limited.
If you mention the name Fujairah, it sounds like, of course it's a part of UAE, but still the world is familiarized with Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah or something like that. Why Fujairah? Why your operations in Fujairah?
You're very right. Let's say about 20 odd years ago, if you mentioned to anybody in the world that you're based in Fujairah, they'd never heard the name Fujairah.
What is this Fujairah?
Where is Fujairah? People all knew Dubai, Abu Dhabi, as you rightly said, and other areas of GCC countries, but they didn't know of Fujairah. The prominence of Fujairah gained popularity during the during the first Iran-Iraq skirmish, whatever conflict there was, and the ship owners began to arrive in this area to take refuge, in the sense that because there was also a question of areas of insurance where, once you entered the Strait of Hormuz, the insurance rates change for ship owners, whereas if they were waiting here, the insurance premiums were quite different. So one thing led to the other, and the area began to take prominence. Of course, over a period of time now, every single facility and service is available to a ship owner here. It's become very, very prominent. It has become a major bunkering hub in the world. It's rated to be number 2 in the world. And there are all other services available on the East Coast now, which is now the name of Fujairah has become more prominent than Khorfakan, which was the initial place where ships started to anchor. But it is now Fujairah which is more known around the world than even Khorfakan.
As we mentioned Fujairah, could you tell us any other industry that is flourishing apart from tourism?
Oh yes. You see, ever since the free trade zone began to develop in Fujairah, I'm not pretty sure of the exact number of companies that are here in the free trade zone, which I would say is about 15 years old, and I would think that there are close to about 800 companies in the free trade zone which are involved in all kinds of industry. Of course, they are between small to medium size. There is garments, there is perfumeries, various areas that are being covered here by the free trade zone, something like the other free trade zones in the UAE.
And more to come.
Obviously, yes. There's a great expansion taking place all the time in the free trade zone. It started very close to the area near the port of Fujairah,
Okay.
but has now gone, it is extended across the road and near the mountains. Mountains are being demolished to give space to the expansion of the free trade zone.
Also, I think there is a geographical advantage, isn't it?
Yes, there is a great geographical advantage, you rightly said. You see, unfortunately, the last 25, 30 years in the area has seen sort of unsettled political conditions with this Iran and Iraq, and then Iraq and Kuwait,
Okay.
so on and so forth. Shipping-wise, the area developed.
Right.
And it's the closest point. It's being a part of the Emirates, the United Arab Emirates, but it's still outside. So it has a lot of advantages shipping-wise that can be used for the ships coming here.
As mentioned, the bunkering industry, the Fujairah bunker market. What led to the origin of the same?
As I just said a while ago, that the areas began to develop when this conflict took place, Iran and Iraq.
Okay.
At that point of time, there was one company only who began to service the vessels with bunker fuels.
Mm-hmm.
Bunker fuels are like you use petrol for the cars,
Car.
bunkers are used for the running of the ships.
Uh-huh.
And obviously, since the traffic increased and the ships began to wait here, requirements increased with the time, and a lot more companies began to enter in this particular field of business and open companies here. And today there are almost a dozen companies which service the requirements of the ship owning community for the ships coming here and supplying them the bunkers.
Now, talking about bunker fuel, is it refined locally here, or you import it, or where does the companies they get this fuel from?
As you probably know, that Fujairah has no oil wells.
Correct.
It has no. They do not produce any oil of their own. There is no
Natural.
natural sources that the oil is produced here. All the oil for trading is imported into this area, and it is stored. Now Fujairah has, this is another area which Fujairah has developed, is land, shore-based storage facilities, which belongs to a very large company specializing in this.
Okay.
Of course, the government of Fujairah is involved in that, and the products are stored in the tanks ashore on the land. But there are products also stored in dead vessels offshore, as we say, as storage. So there is no production of any refined products or marine oil locally. All the oil sold here, which is fuel oil
Okay.
and gas oil, is imported. And it is imported from, let's say today, anywhere. It could come from Iran, it also comes from Iraq, it comes from Kuwait, Bahrain, Abu Dhabi.
Okay. Well, talking about the delivery of fuel to the bunker, is there any special procedures?
Well, that's an operational thing. As I just said, that the products, if they are stored in a shore tank, there are smaller vessels. When I keep saying smaller vessels, which could be anything between 1,500 tons to 6,000-7,000 tons. These are small tankers. And they come and load these products. We eventually go and deliver the receiving vessels of the quantities that they require.
Now, a little out of the track, but still on track.
Okay.
Tell us something about your academics, your family. Of course, both professional and family life has to mingle for the success of any human beings.
Well, I'm a graduate. I'm a commerce graduate from a university in India.
Okay.
And after that, I went to sea and did my proficiency certificates and became a captain, which was 38 years ago.
Okay.
I'm an Indian, but I've lived out of India for about 46 years. And I've lived mostly in the UAE
Okay.
and in west coast of Africa, in Nigeria.
Okay.
I live here with my wife, and for the last 19 years.
Okay. Fujairah.
And in Fujairah, I live in Fujairah, and I love living here because it's a very
Quiet.
peaceful, quiet emirate.
No traffic
And
blocks.
No traffic blocks, that's true.
Okay.
And so I sailed till 1971, and since then I've been working ashore, as you can say.
Okay.
It is by default that I began to do oil trading business, which I'm now involved in for the last 30 years.
So all well in Fujairah.
Yes, absolutely.
But you go back to India, is it not, for functions?
Well, I go to India for business, yes.
Okay.
I go to India for business about 3 to 4 times a year. But family-wise, is very little to sort of go back to India. It's far off land for me.
One last message, if you could tell the viewers, maybe your well-wishers, your competitors, your customers, your clients, anyone could be watching this. What message would you say on behalf of your company? Come to you, and what can you deliver?
Welcome to Fencer Fuel Limited, and we will sell you bunkers, which is marine fuels, the ship owners would understand, at the most competitive, professionally sold prices.
Thank you very much for spending your time
Thank you very much
with
for
us.
having me over on this show.
Thank you.
Thank you.